Angel Reese is one of the biggest names in the WNBA, yet she said she don't want to talk to media because she's afraid that they're going to misconstrue her words and she's willing to take a fine? Who does that benefit?
Even before the game, like, I'm terrified of what the media is about to ask. Like, it could be the nicest question, but it's going to get flipped or put into a different light or a different perspective. And it's like, are you here intentionally to start mess, or are you intentionally here to ask a question? And it's really tough for me, especially in the media. It's like, I don't want to do an interview with anybody. Like, I get excited for certain people, like a Taylor, like certain people I know I can talk to, but like I'll take the fine. Like, I literally will take the fine. I'd rather take the fine. Seriously, I'd rather take the fine sometimes rather than talking to the media, because it always gets flipped. And I think that's where media has gotten these days. Like, you could literally post the sky was blue and Angel said that is too dark. That's too, like, stuff like that, you know? So I think it just, for me, like, the media is like really scary. Like, that's why I've never been on anybody else's podcast. I'm scared to do stuff like that because I know how things could get flipped.
One got the numbers, one let the game on. Two different voices, never the same. Mic on fire when the truth collides. It ain't just one story, must be two sides.
Yeah, as you can see, Angel Reese went on her podcast and explained to Taylor Rooks how she's downright scared of talking to the media. So many of her words have been misconstrued. She's one of the most polarizing figures in sports today, man. Like, she's been vilified. Her words have been taken out of context. She's been suspended by her own team, bro, for some comments that she made. Like, come on now.
She talked about her team and said we need to get better players here. She was quoted saying that. I don't know how that's misconstruing your words. You literally said that, and your players, your teammates didn't like that. And your coach and your owner said you need to be held accountable. So she was suspended. And then we don't know the real truth to this, but she was healthy. She was a healthy scratch for the rest of the season, just sat out, maybe in her feelings because of comments she said and was quoted for.
Look at you speculating. We don't know the reason she sat out, man. It could have been a team decision as well. First of all, we know that women play by a different set of rules, or have to play by a different set of rules. If somebody like LeBron came out and said that, no issues would have came about. Guys in the NBA say this all the time. We got to get better players around me. GM got to go to work. We got some work to do this offseason because I want to be in that championship game when it comes down to the end. And this year, what do they go, 10-34? Of course, we need better players.
Look, when you're used to winning, she went to Maryland. You know, they wasn't one of the hottest teams, but she transferred to LSU, won a national championship, was on a spotlight, one of the biggest NIL earners, got compared to Caitlyn Clark a lot. And I think that's kind of where the disconnect started, because although Angel was extremely popular and still is popular like Caitlyn Clark, maybe not to the dollar standpoint, but she does have an impact, especially in the Black community. She also brought a lot of that on herself, calling herself one of the best players. And she was like, hold on, Caitlyn Clark brought a lot of fans to the W, but so did I. She ain't wrong, but it's also like, come on, sis, like, you good, but like Caitlyn Clark on another level. You feel what I'm saying? Like, her fan base different and wild. They selling out stadiums. You feel me? When Chicago Sky play and they come to Minnesota, they ain't opening up the Oprah Bowl. When Caitlyn Clark come here, they opening up the Oprah Bowl. And she wasn't even playing when they came here for the Commissioner's Cup, and the Upper Bowl was open. So it's like, when you talk about impact and magnitude, when Caitlyn Clark ain't playing, them WNBA tickets drop. When she playing, they through the roof. So when you talk about impact and you talk about being the same level as Caitlyn, that's when you open up yourself to that criticism. And then when you're not delivering on the court, come on now.
Look, man, you're right. You know, Caitlyn Clark, she has the court. Angel Reese got the culture. and I think that might be part of the problem there, just that comparison that is just so constant, and it's always been that way ever since she beat Caitlyn Clark in
Respect.
on her way to winning a national championship.
Respect.
So that's one thing you could never take away from her is that ring. And
Mm-hmm.
hey, look,
Mm-hmm.
she has every right to say that she's bringing in as much attention as Caitlin Clark because of her influence, and she definitely has that on Instagram, on a bunch of other social medias. She's on her own podcast, taking off. She's selling out her own shoe brand the first day that it comes out. She's able to do this because she has so much influence, and she has a stake to claim when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to WNBA popularity today. It's not a one man show, a one woman show, I should say.
Yeah, respect them. So what does it do for her? I mean, like talk about the athlete perspective and how maybe turning down media is good for their health. I mean, because for us, I hate that. Like, we want to hear from you during the season. Like, you're one of the best players in the WNBA, the best player on the Chicago Sky. We deserve to hear from you multiple times a week.
Yeah, man, I understand that perspective, but I think that some of these things can bring about a level of trauma when you have been put in such a negative light ever since you were a college player, so young, like still so young, just young minded and not all the way maybe mature enough to handle uh some of these negative comments and really turn it into motivation for yourself. That's something that you got to learn on your way through. Some of these things can weigh heavy on you, and when you're forced to speak to the media as much as we are, and you see the headlines that come out that are not necessarily painting you in the best light, it can lead to a form of trauma, man. And sometimes you just need a break. And she's looking out for her mental health by doing this. And she said, "I'll just take that fine." Like,
Yeah,
hey, it
but
is
where's
what it
the
is.
accountability in that? Like, all right, you just had a game where you went 4 of 16. Yeah, you got 16 rebounds, but you shot horribly. Your fans want to hear from you. Like, if you're a big star, you got to face the news. I feel like you can't just skip it. Like, I feel like Eric Kendricks told us in an earlier episode, and John New Smith, athletes control their narrative. And you have to be responsible of what you put out. If you put out words that can't be misconstrued, media can't flip the script. You know what I'm saying? And if you do feel like the script is flipped, make sure you're recording. So then when they publish the article, you be like, hold on, wait, let me quote tweet this article real fast and publish the whole link, so y'all can see the full story. You
No,
shaking your head. I don't like that.
that strategy does not work, brother. You are one person versus how many journalists printing the same story in a different way. Once a story takes off, it takes off. You can't really take the narrative and change it like you really want to once it's already out there, because so many people have already consumed that media. And as far as you saying put out words that aren't going to be misconstrued, that's easier said than done. Like I said, this has been happening since college. She's young, very young. So there wasn't media training that
How you
came in
know?
college.
How you know?
There wasn't media training because I've been a college athlete. There's no
You
media
right.
training.
We ain't getting none.
Zero. So they just throw you to the fire and expect you to be able to know how to navigate this and handle this. Like I said, like Eric Kendricks also spoke, the maturity that comes with being in the league and seeing how different guys and girls have navigated through and used the media to their benefit. That's what helps you to learn how to really do what you said and use that strategy.
Respect versus responsibility. Media owes athletes respect. And it's also the athlete's responsibility to talk to media. The fans want it. The WNBA, y'all talk about growing y'all game. Y'all want more fans. Angel, you don't do your podcast during the season. So we just not go hear from you from May to October? Nah, that don't add up. Come on now, that don't make sense. Now, I understand protecting your mental health. I think that's important, but I also think what this does is it opens up Pandora's box for every player to be like, well, maybe every player can't afford to do what she's doing because she's benefiting off her me bounds 6 figures, 7 figures from her podcast, money from Reebok, money from Victoria's Secret. She's doing a damn thing off the court. Like, mad props to her for that. But I also think that, like, look, don't start this narrative where like I'm controlling my own narrative. I'm not about to talk to everybody and whatnot. And now other players looking across the league like, she doing it. She getting away with it. You know what? I'm going to do it. And then if one player does it, now 5 players doing it. Now ain't nobody talking to the media. We got deadlines too. Fans want to hear from you. They want to hear more than what you got to say on your podcast. Like I said, accountability. And that's why journalists are there. So I don't think it's a good idea for what she's doing. I understand why she's doing it, but I think it sets a bad precedent.
Yeah, I understand your point of view, but there's definitely 2 sides, man. And I feel like she has every right to protect her peace, brother. It's one thing when she's doing it and she's going through so much. Not everybody has that same story. Not everybody can say that there's all these articles being put out about me that are really negative. Like, when it comes to some of the WNBA coverage, there's not that much. There's only a certain couple of players that are getting this coverage. So you can't really say, oh, I'm going to do the same thing Angel Reese does because the media is treating me the same way. No, they're not. They're not even talking about you most of the time, which is unfortunate, but it's the unfortunate truth.
All right, man. Well, look, Capper certified. Is Angel Reese protecting her peace, or is she just dodging the press? We need y'all to chime in. Like, y'all let us know, because I feel like dodging the press, she can be protecting her peace, but she's dodging the press. And we don't like that. You feel me? Like, you didn't came out and said people watching the WNBA for you. So why are you not fronting the press? Why are you not controlling whatever you're saying? Because look, I hate to break it to y'all. A journalist may report something, and then the social media aggregators that are taking it, flipping it, everybody misquoting you, stuff like that. We can't control that. You feel me? We print the article. We say what y'all said. We can't just flip it and paint you out to be a terrible person and misquote you. That's other people doing that. That's people that are not journalists, people that get paid. Well, their social media pages get them money off all the negative attention. So hate to break it to you, but I need y'all to explain, because look, I think she dodging the press.
It's Cap, man. She ain't dodging the press. She going on and speaking her truth.
I didn't ask you.
Her truth when she woke.
I want the people to let us know. I ain't asked you. I ain't asked you. We know where you stand because you're an athlete. Y'all weigh in and let us know. And if y'all like this conversation, look, we got more of this. All right. There was another incident that I'm sure MyCole is very familiar with. Ray McLeod came out and said his 2 cents about his wide receivers coach that was let go. And in response, he was suspended.
Punished for his comments. Sounds familiar.
So see, wait. Don't you even start. There's a lot we could talk about that. So if you like this conversation, there's more where it came from. So make sure you click that link at the bottom of your screen right now and tap into that next conversation.
See you there.
Stand for the truth, otherwise take a knee. Made it to the league, now we gotta take the lead.
Touchdown, MyCole Pruitt.
Must be 2 sides.